Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to an inventory showcase in 2021. I did this a few years ago for Season 1, showing off all the pistols and the sniper rifles, basically every item within the game, and showing you all the best statistics for it and all that kind of stuff, and explaining each one and how you unlock them each one. So, for this first video I'm going to go through all the pistols. I'm not going to go through that in depth of what I did in Season 1 because that involved a lot of recordings and stuff like that, and that was only for like 9 pistols, I believe. In this game now we have over 20 pistols now, so it's a lot more work than I really want to do. So I'm going to show you the guns. I'm going to go through each one of them and hopefully you enjoy it. So if you subscribe to this series, hopefully I'll be able to do more with the SMGs, sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, melee items, etc, etc, until we get through all of them, obviously. So, starting off with a pistol. The first, we're going to start off with the El Matador, which was previously unlocked in Hitman 2 through an escalation. Now you have to complete 26 escalation Hitman 2 maps just to get the El Matador, which is a huge amount. It's Rico Delgado's own gun, body piercing rounds, low rate of fire, and a very high damaging round. So it's piercing rounds, which will be fired, will penetrate bodies, and increased damage across all ranges. So it's pretty much a one-shot kill to nearly all ranges, I think. I don't think there's a 2-shot kill anywhere, but it's quite inaccurate, really. It's not, it's pretty much its downfall. You've only got 7 rounds in the magazine, and you only got 7 reserves, so overall 14 rounds, but it's got really slow fire rate and a very heavy recoil. Next is the Concept 5, which you unlock at Mastery Level 15 in Miami, which is basically a full auto pistol. Kronstadt produced firearm used to test Kronstadt Android systems with automatic fire and fairly low recoil, which I find funny because it's got one of the most highest recoil in the game. It's it's got 20 rounds in the magazine, 80 in reserve, so overall 100 rounds, which is quite generous. It's 3 rounds per tap of a trigger, but you can go full auto of it if you want to, but I don't recommend it because the recoil is so huge. It's got high accuracy on the very first shot, but apart from that, it's terrible as a pistol. Next is the Custom 5mm DTI, which is unlocked at Mastery Level 7 in Berlin. It's a DTI variant of the Custom 5mm, a concealable pistol, ergonomically designed to pass pat-downs and frisking attempts, utilizes caseless ammunition and cannot be reloaded while in the field, and has a built-in suppressor. So you can get through frisk zones while having this pistol in your inventory. It's a 2-shot kill to the chest, 5 bullets though. You can't reload it, you can't get extra ammo for it. It's very accurate, however, but it's got standard fire rate, damage, good accuracy, but there's no reload to it, so that's a bit of a letdown. The next is the Hawk 21 Covert, which has unlocked at Mastery Level 20 in Paris. A modern light pistol with camouflage details, rapid firing with good magazine capacity, a suppressor, and an extended magazine to get extra ammo from it. So with that, you have 20 rounds in your magazine, 40 in reserve, so 60 overall. But this is a 5 to 6 shot kill to the chest, depending on how close you are to the enemy, which is very, very extreme. It's very inaccurate as well. It's got poor recoil value, and it's got a quite high fire rate going for it, but that's pretty much it compared to anything other pistols. Next is the Hawk 21 Pale Homemade Suppressor Pistol, which is unlocked at Mastery Level 2 in Carpathian Mountains. This is a breaching clear handgun and can quickly take out a number of targets with precise headshots, great for clearing a room without de-escalating the fight. It's steady and quick and excellent for close quarter combat, has a homemade spray can silencer and a pale customization. I actually quite like the sound of this, the way it shoots and stuff like that. It's very highly accurate as well. But unfortunately you've only got 7 rounds in your magazine and 7 in reserve, so only 14 bullets. And it's unfortunately a 5 to 6 shot kill to the chest as well, depending on your range. It's quite accurate, low recoil, high fire rate, but it's a pretty decent pistol overall. Next is the ICA 19, which is the default pistol. A tactical pistol, custom slide, low fire rate, high damage, blah 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 blah. Everyone should have this in their inventory. It's the default pistol, so of course you do. But it's the same statistics as the Silver Border and whatnot, so it's a 2-shot kill to the chest. 7 rounds in your magazine, 28 in reserve, so it's 35 bullets, which is pretty good. Tight aim, good recoil value, and quite high fire rate too. So it's one of the best in the game. The next one is the ICA Black Trinity, tactical pistol, custom slide with suppressor, low fire rate, and low rate of fire with high damage, ultimate black customization from 2020. It has identical statistics to the ICA 19. All of the Trinity guns do. They all share the same thing. So again, it's 7 rounds in your magazine, 28 in reserve, 35 overall, 2-shot kill to the chest. Yeah, good recoil value, high fire rate. It's a pretty decent pistol overall. Next is the ICA Full Order, which is unlocked at Mastery Level 5 in Marrakesh. And it's a tactical pistol, custom slide, capable of automatic fire. Now, it's got 12 rounds in your magazine, 48 in reserve, so 60 rounds overall, so it's quite generous. 2 to 3 shots killed to the chest, but its heavy recoil value makes it basically impossible to engage it in long-range fights. So I would not recommend this gun, but it can open locked doors, so that's something to consider. So if you get the suppressed version, you maybe can consider that. Next is the ICA 19 Red Trinity, tactical pistol, custom slide with suppressor, low rate of fire with high damage, crimson red customization from 2018. Again, statistically, exactly the same as the ICA 19. 7 rounds in magazine, 28 in reserve, 35 overall, 2-shot kill to the chest, good range values, good recoil value, high fire rate, yada yada yada, so it's basically the same. Next is the ICA 19 Silver Baller, unlocked at Mastery Level 11 in Paris. And this is a tactical pistol, custom slide with suppressor, low rate of fire with high damage. And this has the steady aim perk, which is the first we've seen so far, which basically increases your accuracy if you half pull the trigger. So this is a pretty decent one overall. It's got 7 rounds in your magazine, 28 in reserve, 35 overall. Tight aim, quite an early mastery level unlock as well. It's one of the best guns, if not the best pistol in the game. Highly recommend it. Low recoil, high fire rate, accurate. There's nothing you could really want more, really, apart from the suppressor. Next is the ICA White Trinity, tactical pistol, custom slide, same description basically, copy and paste, but it's white. You unlock these, by the way, by pre-ordering the game, and I don't think it's gonna. I'm not sure if they're gonna release the Trinity pack in the future, but again, it's essentially exactly the same as the ICA 19 pistol. There's no different except it's got white matte paint all over it, which doesn't make it look very good in my opinion, but that's just me. Next is the Calma 2 Tranquilizer, which is locked at merit level 5 in Mendoza. This is just a reskin of the regular Calma 1. Again, it's a Tranquilizer. You've only got 2 shots with it, and you can use it to knock out any NPC or target if you want to. And even if their body is found, it will not ruin your Silent Assassin rating, which is a good thing about this Calma. And it's very useful overall. One of the most useful pistols there is to get. Next is the Krugermeyer 2.2 Silver, which is locked at Mastery Level 10 in Mendoza. It's a low velocity, small caliber pistol, originally designed for Special Forces use and to make as little noise as possible, ineffective at medium to long range, silver customization with subsonic rounds. And that's a good point about this one. You basically, enemies can't hear any shots, even if you're standing right next to them pretty much. But unfortunately, it's a really weak bullet, so there's only like 4 to 6 shots killed to the chest. You've got 10 rounds in your magazine, 20 in reserves. You've got 30 bullets, but it takes a lot of chest shots. You need to hit them in the head, really. Next is the Striker, which is going to be locked by completing the Dex Discordance in Hokkaido. It's a Magnum pistol, body piercing rounds, low rate of fire with very high damage. It has piercing rounds and increased damage across all ranges, which is basically identical stats to the El Matador. So it's got 7 rounds in the magazine, 7 in reserve, so 14 overall. So you haven't got much ammo, but you can pick ammo off the enemies and still reload your ammo, which is good. Really slow fire rate. Really heavy recoil as well, but if you headshot people, you can cause them to backflip. It's quite funny. It's really powerful. Next is the Rude Ruby, which is locked at Mastery Level 15 in Whittleston Creek. Granny's Pink Punisher, custom-made pistol, themed after Granny's favourite colour. Fast fire rate, but low accuracy. And low accuracy does indeed. This is one of the worst, if not the worst pistol in the game. It's a 5 to 6 shot kill to the chest. You've only got 7 rounds in the magazine, 14 in reserve, so 21 overall. You have no suppressor on it. It's inaccurate. It's got really crappy range. It's got a fast fire rate though, but that's the only thing it's got going for it. Next is the Custom 5mm, which is locked at Mastery Level 5 in Hokkaido. And it's a concealable pistol, ergonomically designed to pass pat-downs and frisking attempts, utilizes caseless ammunition and cannot be reloaded while in the field. And again, this is the same as the DTI variant, and it's a 2-shot kill to the chest, so it's pretty much got the same stats as a regular ICA 19, but I think it's marginally more accurate. So again, 2-shot kill to the chest, good for headshots and stuff, but you've only got 5 rounds and you can't reload it, but you can pass pat-downs, so that's a good thing. Next is the Hawk 21, which is not the Mastery Level 7 in Paris. But for this one, this is a breach and clear handgun that can quickly take out a number of targets with precise headshots. Great for clearing a room without escalating the fight. It's steady and quick, excellent for close quarter combat. I don't know where they're getting this description from, because there's nothing I would describe about this pistol as that. You have 12 rounds, which is quite generous for a magazine, 24 in reserve, so 36 rounds overall. But again, it's a 5 to 6 shot kill to the chest, depending on your range. It's inaccurate. It's got a fast fire rate, but it's loud. It's got poor range. But it's got the recoil is pretty decent, so that's okay. That's all that's got for going for it, really. So the next pistol is the ICA DTI Stealth, and this is an Ultimate Mastery Level 2 in Mendoza. So for this, it's an ICA customized, custom-made pistol. Fast fire rate, but low accuracy, comes with a silencer. Now, this really hasn't got an upside to this pistol. It's got 7 rounds in the magazine, 14 in reserve, so it's got 21 overall, which is not much. And it takes 6 to 7 shots to the chest, which is one of the weakest pistols, if not the weakest pistol in the game. It's inaccurate. It's got a standard suppressor on it. It's got fairly decent recoil values on it, but the fire rate is alright. But apart from that, it's just an awful pistol overall. Next is the ICA Black Lily, and I really don't know how you unlock this. I think it came with a part of Hitman 2 in some sort of gold edition or something. I'm not completely sure. But for this particular pistol, it's got 7 rounds in the magazine, 28 in reserve, so you've got 35 rounds overall. 2 to 3 shot kill into the chest. It's accurate, it's got a standard suppressor on it, good recoil and good fire rate, so again it's the ICA 19 standard really. The next one is the ICA 19 Classic, which you need to complete 17 Silent Assassin Suit only challenges to unlock. And I really don't think it's worth going through all that just to get this particular pistol, as good as it looks. So it's a tactical pistol, classic, custom slide, low fire rate with high damage with the precision perk. 7 rounds in magazine, 28 in reserve, so 35 rounds overall. 2 to 3 shot kill to the chest, so it's accurate as well with the precision perk, but it's loud, and yeah, overall it's not that great. Next is the ICA 19 Full Auto Stealth, which is an Ultimate Mastery Level 10 in Colorado. So it's a tactical suppressed pistol for high intensity engagements, custom slide, fully automatic mechanism. And this has 12 rounds in the magazine, 48 in reserve, so 60 overall. It's a 2 to 3 shot kill to the chest. It's accurate on this first shot, but it's got massive recoil after making shots difficult to hit from long range. Standard suppressor, 2 shot rounds per trigger tap, so if you're tapping it, you only get 2 shots out of it. But it's automatic if you hold it. Opens locked doors as well, but it's not very good for long range engagements. Next to the ICA 19 Short Baller, and that's unlocked at Mastery Level 5 in Dartmoor. And it's a tactical pistol, custom slide with a short suppressor, and low rate of fire with high damage, and it also has the steady aim perk, which is the precision perk as well. So I think this is one of the best looking pistols in the game for sure. It's got 7 rounds in the magazine, 28 in reserve, so it's 35 rounds again. It's again the same stats as the ICA 19, 2 to 3 shot kill to the chest. It's got the tight aim perk, standard fire rate, standard suppressor and recoil values. So overall it's like, you know, the standard gun of the game. The next one is the Caliber 1 Tranquilizer. You need to complete 3 escalations at the Hitman 2 maps to unlock this. And the South African produced dart gun will sedate anyone it hits. And again, you only get 2 darts in it though. It's the same as the Caliber 2. It's exactly the same, it's just a different colour of the barrel. That's the only thing that's different. But again, you only got 2 darts, and you can sedate anybody, pacify anybody, NPC, target, and even if their body's found, it doesn't matter. Next is the Krugermeyer, which is unlocked at Mastery Level 20 in Bangkok. And that's a low velocity, small caliber pistol originally designed for special forces use and to make as little noise as possible, ineffective at medium to long ranges, and it has the subsonic perk. So again, when it says it's ineffective, that's to say the least. It's a 4 to 6 shot kill to the chest, and that's depending on the ranges itself. It can extend further than that as well. It's not a very accurate pistol, but if you want one of them pistols that you're going to be shooting out cameras and stuff like that and creating bullet distractions, this is the best gun in the game for that particular scenario. So yeah, that's pretty much the Krugermeyer. The last but not least is the Seeker 1, which is unlocked at Mastery Level 10 in Haven Island. And it's a South African produced dart gun with will transmit a pneumatic poison to anyone it hits. So it only has 2 darts this time as well. And yeah, so instead of sedating your enemy, like the Caliber 1 and the Caliber 2, this will just make your NPC or target, make them sick in a toilet or a bin. And you can take them out nice and easily. So it's one of the most effective guns you can probably use in the game. And it's also decent to get rid of those, you know, hold my hair challenges and accident kills and all that kind of stuff. So that's about covers every pistol there is in the game. They probably will produce more in the future. This is February 2021, so they probably will produce more in the future. If there is, I'll probably do an update. I'm not completely sure yet, but that wraps everything up. If I'm going to choose my favourite one, I'll probably say the short baller. It has a lot of advantages over the pistols like the Krugermeyer and the DTIs and all that kind of stuff, and the Hawks. So it's between ICA 19 pistols, silver baller, short baller. They're all the same. Just pick which one's your favourite colour, basically. But it's between that and the Krugermeyer. The Krugermeyer is good for certain situations when you're doing bullet distractions, but it's entirely situational. But it just depends on like I said, in the situation. But if I was going to pick one, I'd probably say the short baller overall. But let me know your thoughts on what your favourite pistol is in the game after all seeing this list. And see if I've changed your mind about any of the ones that I've shown so far. I'm going to be moving on to probably the SMGs next, so let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you thought of this video. Drop a like if you did like it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos I've covered so far. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos and live streams. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a long one. Cheers.